Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafting with Slavie. I'm excited to share a new video with you. This one is actually relatively recent, which is exciting because it is fall themed. Not quite Christmas, but it's coming. This one is featuring the Simon Says Stamp Happy Fall Y'all stamp set. And I don't know about you, but I do subscribe to the Simon box. So I actually cracked this out the day that I got it because that's how excited I was about it. And I just kind of went a little bit crazy with the watercolor. So in this first one, I'm trying to emulate the wonderful Christina Werner, where I just recently watched her, and the link is below. Just lay down watercolor on a canvas, and it kind of went everywhere. It blended with everything. It looked phenomenal, and I just could not achieve that same look. When I was editing this video, I realized it's actually because I hadn't added enough color. Sorry, not color, water. And I probably should have used a bigger brush. And I realized that I was actually really scared of putting more water and more color on my paper, which is kind of silly. So that's why this video is called Watercolor is Scary, because, you know, to a novice, it is really scary. And I know I have another video out there where I'm like, yay, this is so zen, watercolor, woohoo. This was not a zen experience for me, let me tell you. I think I actually walked away from doing these pictures more stressed out than when I first started. And that's not good because this is supposed to be our happy place. But I think my problem was that I actually just needed to slow down and only do one of these instead of trying to do like 9 of them. And I didn't finish the whole 9 because then I got into rainbows and stuff. And I actually left the last 2 to my lovely daughter to play with. And she is actually on this video because I realized watching her watercolor that she is not afraid to put water down on canvas. She just goes nuts, loves it. And I want to be more like her. So I will try this technique again. And hopefully I will achieve the results that she does. And I'm not exactly sure where she comes in. I think it's soon here because I'm almost done this. So in Christina Werner's video, after she laid down the color, she went in and she just highlighted a couple of the areas to make sure that you could differentiate the different shapes. Obviously in this case I have animals and characters and stuff, so I wanted to make sure that you could tell those apart. Now I'm also using a limited color palette because I wanted to challenge myself to use limited colors, and I realized that I was actually mortified of getting my colors muddy, and I think that's why I stopped, because when I started doing the watercolor dropping, some of the colors were blending in a way that I didn't like, and that freaked me out because again, new to watercolor, it freaked me out. And I'm happy to admit that because I feel like you have to acknowledge those things to be able to move past them. So that being said, I need to try this again because now that I've had this self-awareness, hopefully it comes out a little bit better. And you'll notice that I left a huge spot right in the middle there. And that is because the sentiments in the stamp set are beautiful and massive. So I knew that I wanted to do a heat emboss sentiment in the middle, and I mentioned this in previous videos. I have a lot of fall colors. I have this beautiful one from Ranger called Red Geranium. So I've been looking for an opportunity to use it, and this seemed like the time. So I use that for my sentiment, and actually the sentiment fit perfectly between the owl and the bear. And some of my watercolor experimentation ended up working better than others for the sentiment in terms of how well it came out, how well it worked with the stamped images. And yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit because this is a bit of a lengthier video, so my apologies. Thank you for sticking around. If you're liking what you're seeing, please hit the like button, hit subscribe and the notification bell if you haven't yet and would like to become a subscriber to my channel, because I do post infrequently, so I don't want you to miss any new videos. I'm kind of all over the place because I do have a full-time job and of course a toddler, so you know, I take the time when I can get it to get stuff up here. And I'm gonna walk away a little bit. The video with my kidlet is coming up really soon and she's just all sorts of cute. So make sure that you turn up the volume to that because holy Hannah, can't even handle it. And I will be back when we move through some of the other cards. You just getting that color on there?
It's just coloring an owl. It's just coloring.
Yeah? You're just coloring the owl? Oh my.
It's just so like it.
Yeah? Oh, pick up more paint.
And red.
Yeah? You like red?
Yeah.
Red's nice. Go ahead. Have fun. Oh, that's pretty.
Alexa, can you turn it off the light?
We're not turning the light off.
Because her light on.
Here, do you want this moved? Just a little bit? We'll just move it up a little bit. Does that work? You having fun? Mm-hmm. Admit it, she's just to die for. So here I am just taking more of like a marker coloring approach to this particular painting, drawing, whatever you want to call it. And I also wasn't super happy with the way, well actually I was happier with the way this turned out than I was with the first image. And truly though, I got exhausted by the time that this was done because it had lost its zenness for me and it just felt more like work. So note to self, only do one of these. And I think I've said that before, but it is very true. So I will let you watch this process and then I will come back to the land of the rainbows and we will talk about that. Welcome to the land of the rainbows. So, as I mentioned, when I did the second part of the watercolor, I was kind of exhausted from watercoloring already. But I wanted to pound these out really fast. So I decided to kind of play around with the colors because, like I said, I was scared of getting the colors muddy. And I just wanted to kind of play with the colors. So I stuck to a very basic palette. You'll see the colors that I'm putting down, and I started to blend them because then I could really get a feel for how the colors reacted together. Now this is the first one that I did. I made adjustments after this because I didn't like how, like I mentioned, the sentiment was going to be right there in the middle. It's going to be bright red. And I didn't like that area was the darkest part of the card. I just didn't feel like it would be super balanced when I added that sentiment after. So I switched it up and I started with blue in that corner. And then I also removed a color. So I don't remember exactly which one I removed. I think it may have been just the pink because I do have a pink in the palette. It's a 12 pan watercolor paint palette from Arteza. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And so I just went from blue to this pink, I guess it is, made purple, added more color, then I added, I believe it was yellow to make orange, yeah, and then I added more blue to make green, and I actually like the green better than the one that's in my palette, but this was really great for me because I could really tell how the colors reacted together, and it gave me a little bit more confidence to say, okay, I can go back next time and drop that color on my canvas and see what happens and just go with it. But I think that I will follow Christina Werner's lead and do it on as an emboss resist technique, just to see what I can do, and then I won't be quite so afraid because I did do another video that I published a little while ago. It's got the watercolor emboss resist before and afters, and I mean, I wasn't mixing color in that video, but that video was so much fun because I was just dropping color on the canvas that for the second card that I did in that video. And I will link it up at the top here with the card, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, so after all that, I needed a bit of a break from my experimenting because, like I said, it was actually stressing me out more than it was relaxing me. And I whipped out my Copics. Now, I'm not going to get super detailed into which Copics I used where. I did list them all in the bottom in the description. So if you're curious, they are there, but they're also in the video, obviously. So you can refer to them there. And I actually ended up liking this one the best. I wasn't thrilled with using Copics on watercolor paper. I do love them on Bristol cardstock. It just kept driving home the start small, don't make 9, you know, maybe stamp it out on different paper, cardstocks, so that you have the option of doing whatever else with it. And so I will definitely be doing that for myself for next time. And yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about that. But I do like this version. I even asked my husband, I'm like, which one do you like best? And he said, Copics are nice. They're definitely the nicest because they look the most polished because I'm comfortable using Copic markers. But again, if I want to get comfortable using watercolor, I have to use watercolor. Work in progress. Okay, I'll sign off a little bit here, let you finish watching the coloring, and I will be back before the video ends. Alrighty, we are nearing the completion here, so I am just adding a floor to my little critters here so they don't look like they're floating on paper. And I think you can probably see why this one ended up being my favorite incarnation. It's just, yeah. That being said though, the owl in this one, my husband says it's his favorite. So he likes the color combination in that better. So here I am just heat embossing the Happy Fall Y'all on my slimline cards here. As you can see, it is a very large sentiment and it fit perfectly between these two critters, and I just actually loved how it ended up coming out. And before I stamped and embossed this, I did cut these out using the Fawn large slimline die to get that nice stitching detail as well that you can see in here. So thank you for watching. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and hit like if you haven't yet. And I really appreciate you coming by. Thank you. Bye.